From sibling rivalries to childhood crushes to your biggest parenting problems, today we're helping you face the truth on your kids. Okay? First up, should spanking still be allowed in schools? A Florida lawmaker is now pushing to ban corporal punishment in the state's public schools. It's currently still legal in 19 states. Truth Team, what say you?
Well, we should say that this corporal punishment in some of these states, it could include hitting a kid with a wooden paddle or a fiberglass paddle. I think it's a horrible idea. I'm just against corporal punishment altogether, but I worry about the impact it can have on kids.
Exactly.
Kids can become more aggressive when they're hit, and also the shaming and humiliation that happens when you take a kid and punish them. And then the anger. Usually people spank in a moment of anger. And if you have 25 kids in the classroom, you don't have time to slow down, really think about what you're doing. You're probably just gonna grab that kid and start hitting the kid. And then what if the kid has a medical problem? Like I read about a case where a 5-year-old was paddled in school, had an asthma attack, had to be rushed to the hospital, and had some long-term repercussions from that. So I just think it's a horrible idea.
And I think that's part of the problem. I think you pointed out a really important issue, which is that when you actually use spanking as an appropriate disciplinary measure, you're not even supposed to be emotional.
Yeah.
You're supposed to tell the child, this is why I'm spanking you, and do it in a very emotionless way.
Yeah.
Who does that if you're in the middle of trying to manage a crisis? And here is some stranger trying to spank your child. They might get emotional and they might get out of hand, especially when they get to hold a paddle.
Yeah.
And that's really my fear about these states that still have this legislation.
Mary, you awfully quiet down there. What's going on, Scary Mary?
I think a more productive punishment for kids all around is take away their social media, take away their cell phones, take away all that.
And here's the thing, we know from research that there are other techniques that actually work better.
Yeah.
And especially as the child grows, you should not be using physical punishment at all. It's really supposed to be used when they're younger and they don't have the words quite yet. And it's supposed to be used in a, again, very measured way. When a child is in elementary school and they can speak, why are you using physical punishment?
Instead of
why aren't you
talking
using the
to them.
talking, the timeout, the removal of
I think it's
reward?
unacceptable. Yep. Should be banned all the way, period. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes. No. You don't get to discipline my child like that. You know?
No hitting.
Spanking isn't the only thing being banned from some schools. So is homework. Homework. Today, elementary school students average 4.5 hours a week of homework, while high schoolers put in about 7.5 hours. Now, some schools are saying that's too much. Truth Team, what say you?
Kids need homework, but I don't think that they need that much homework.
Okay, good. I
So
agree with you
that's
on
the
that.
problem. I think this is the thing. Homework, I think, does teach some self-regulation skills, right? You have to be responsible for your own work. Then you got to put it in your backpack. You got to remember to turn it in. So it teaches you important life skills. But it's ridiculous to have kindergartners doing an hour to 2 hours of schoolwork when they get home. They're 4 and 5.
And they've been in school for
6-7 hours already.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. As a parent of 3 kids, guess who's doing a whole lot of that homework? We are. The parents are doing a lot of that homework. Those big elaborate science projects, Mom did that.
Areva's doing algebra, she's doing geometry.
Mom did that project, so yeah. I agree with you, Judy. I think some homework is good because it does teach responsibility, but there's a limit. I mean,
it's too much.
School is important for a lot of other reasons, not just the homework. The developmental issue is so important as well.
But another thing too, if the kids are having so much homework when they're coming home, what about family time?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't exist anymore. Wake up. I mean, when was the last time we had family time? You don't sit down anymore and eat dinner together.
That's
you
not
don't
true.
sit.
It
is true.
No, listen, I do with my godson. With my godchildren, we have
It
family
doesn't
time.
exist.
We all go and we hang out. I make sure of it because
How
I
many of
wanna
you sit down to dinner at the same time?
I think family
One
time is
person in
changing.
the whole audience.
No, I think that the way family time you're describing it, Mary, I would agree. Probably a lot of families don't do that, but that doesn't mean that families aren't coming together in different ways. And a lot of it has to do with the culture of a family. Different cultures spend time together very differently. So Latino families, African American families, white families have different cultural traditions and norms that they follow.
It
So we
needs
have
to be
respect
brought
those.
back. I agree, because I think it's lacking.
Yeah.
It's lacking seriously.
I don't agree with
I
that.
do.
I'm like, we have game night. Our family has game night. We get together, we play games. So I'm
Yes.
happy for the families that are spending time together. We don't want people to think families are just falling apart. Families are coming together, but just in different ways.